Hello, good evening. Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So, Dinesh, could you please tell me, where we stopped, what was the topic and the last note that you have taken? If you have attended to the previous class, previous session.
Sir, good evening. I couldn't attend last previous lecture, sir.
Okay, then who has attended? Sandhuni? Yamunu? I have noted down everything, but unfortunately, my
Yes, excuse me, sir.
yes.
Yes, I attended the class in the previous week.
Okay, then tell me the last note.
Nursing intervals.
Which one we discussed? The maternity benefits ordinance? So
Yes, sir.
We discussed that crashes.
Yes.
sorry.
Crashes.
Right.
Under that, we discussed nursing intervals.
We discussed, we finalized what you call the Gratuity Act, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right. And then what about, did we discuss what you call EPF Act? Not yet. Where was this MBO maternity? Make English medium, is this English medium?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Maternity benefits. MBO. Okay, right. Under the other acts, I think. Let me check it. Yes. Maternity benefits, freshers. Could you please, somebody tell me the last note? I'm sorry about that. කවුරුහරි මට අන්තිම නෝට් එක ලියාගත්ත කියන්නකෝ.
Sir, the last note we took was crashes. Under that, we wrote a passage, and after that, nursing intervals. And the last part was, nursing intervals.
Can you go to the main topic?
Main topic was the Maternity Benefits Ordinance number 37 of 1939.
Okay.
And after that, leave for birth of a child.
Okay. And freshers. Okay, right. Can you just go through that one?
Yeah, under Maternity Benefits Ordinance, the first topic was leave for birth of a child.
Okay.
Next one, the female workers who are not covered. Next, payments.
Just 1 minute, 1 minute. Right, the maternity benefits under the ordinance. Okay, right, who are not covered. And then?
Payments of benefits.
Okay.
After that, crashes.
Pressure, right?
And we brought an example how to calculate the payment of maternity benefit.
Okay.
Taking
right. And if there is what do you call this, crashers, because it is not in my English one minute, just one second. Right. We calculate because, just like, so the female, right, has given birth to child on 1st of January 2022, and then that is how we calculate. That was the the calculation, no?
Yes, sir.
And then she has to attend to, just after 84 days, she has to attend to report to work on 25th of March. But during this period, there are 12 Sundays, weekly holidays, 3 4 days, and 2 public holidays. So she can stay, right, all these 17 days after 25, but whether she will be paid or not is depending on the wages board decisions. That's what we said. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then pressures, let me check. Pressures. Okay, right. So under the pressures, ladies and gentlemen, establishment and maintenance of pressures. The employer of more than a prescribed number, there is no prescribed number yet, but it will come under the, minister can make regulations. That's what we mean prescribe. Through regulations, minister can prescribe the number of women workers, right? So what it says is the act says the employer of more than a prescribed number of women workers in any trade shall establish and maintain in accordance with the regulation made in that behalf. We have not made regulation yet. A creche, C-R-E-C-H-E, creche for children, I mean daycare centers, right? For children under 5 years of age, and shall allow any such worker who has in her care a child or children under 5 years of age to leave such child or children in such creche during the hours when she is required to work for her employer, right? So I hope you understand. So once it's still we have not prescribed, but act says if minister has prescribed, right, it's like this, for a certain industry, right, if X number of females are working in that industry, the minister can make regulation compelling, right, the employer to maintenance a creches, right, in order to keep the children under 5 years of age during during working hours. Do you understand it? Is it clear?
Yes.
Right. So establishment of and maintenance of creches. Subtopic, establishment and maintenance of creches. Okay. Take your note. Establishment and maintenance of creches. Right. The employer, sorry, according to the provision of this act, according to the provision of this act, the employer of, the employer of, the employer of, the employer of more than a prescribed number, the employer of more than a prescribed number of women workers in any trade shall establish and establish and maintain, comma, maintain, comma, comma, in accordance with regulations in that behalf, in that behalf, in that behalf, comma, a creche, C-R-E-C-H, creche, for children under 5 years of age, under 5 years of age, and shall allow any such worker
Sir, shall allow
any such worker who has in her care a child or children a child or children under 5 years of age comma, to leave such child or children in such creche, during the hours when she is required to work, for her employer. Okay, next. Just give me 1 minute. Where was this? Just 1 second. Just give me couple of minutes. Just 1 second. Just give me 2-3 minutes. So I have some. Why not this one? Video. Right. Next one. Right. Next subtopic. Feeding intervals. Feeding intervals. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Feeding intervals. Right. You know, so according to the provision of this act, there are 2 nursing intervals or feeding intervals. Sometimes it's called nursing intervals, right? Feeding stroke nursing intervals. Right. So until the child becomes 1 year, right? During that period, the employer should grant 2 nursing intervals until the child reaches 1 year. if crashes has been provided, the one feeding interval should not be less than 30 minutes. If there are no crashes or there is no crashes provided, then one interval should not be less than 1 hour. It means if the employer has not provided pressure, so the feeding mother, the mother is entitled to obtain, right, 2 intervals, right? One intervals is equivalent to 1 hour. One interval is 1 hour. 1 hour, 2 intervals. 1 hour, 2 intervals. So this 1 hour, 2 intervals can be taken at once, like the 2 hour at once. But right, on the consent or on the approval of the employer. If there is no crashes, if there is a crash provided by the employer, so see, the one interval should not be less than 30 minutes. Are you getting what I'm saying? Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right. Nursing intervals, sometimes feeding intervals, right? Nursing, both are being used. Right. Until the child completes 1 year, until the child completes 1 year, during 9-hour period,
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat it until the child
completes 1 year, during during 9-hour working period, during 9-hour working period, why 9 hour? 8 hours the normal, 1 hour is meal interval, right? So altogether 9 hours. During 9-hour working period, the employer should grant two nursing stroke feeding intervals. Kiripay. Feeding intervals. Next para. If a crash, Dharakagarya, crash. If a crash has been provided by the employer, each interval should not be less than 30 minutes. should not be less than 30 minutes. However, full stop, however, if there is no crash facility, if there is no crash facility, each interval should not be less than less than 1 hour. Full stop. In this case, may karanedi, in this case, 2 intervals, 2 1 hour intervals, 2 1 hour intervals, 2 1 hour intervals.
Excuse me, sir, is that TO2?
Is TW, 2 1. There are 2, you need to understand, what was the topic? What was the topic?
Feeding intervals.
Sorry,
Feeding intervals.
feeding or nursing intervals, right? So then read it, what you have noted down.
Until the child completes 1 year during a 9-hour working period, the employer should grant to nursing or feeding intervals. If a crash, the employer each interval should not be
Sorry,
less
repeat again.
until the child completes 1 year during 9-hour working period, the employer should grant to nursing or feeding intervals.
No, the
If a
employer
crash,
should grant 2 nursing intervals, TW2.
okay, sir.
Dekak, nursing intervals, dekak දෙන්න ඕනේ.
Okay, sir.
Right? If there is a creche provided by the employer, each interval should not be less than 30 minutes. It means 2 intervals means 1 hour. If there is no creche, each interval should not be less than 1 hour. It means 2 hour. Okay. So what is the last point?
However, if there is no crash facility, each interval should not be less than
First
1
facility,
hour.
if there is no creche facility, comma, each interval, yes,
Should not be less than 1 hour.
and then
In this case,
yes,
2 1 hour.
2 deka 2 TW 2 1 hour intervals. එක වතාවකට දෙන්න එක පැයයිනේ. Right? පැයව දෙකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ 2 1 hour intervals. 1 hour intervals තියෙනවා දෙකක්. 2 1 hour intervals can be taken at once. එකවර ගන්න පුළුවන්. Can be taken at once. On the approval of the employer. On the consent, right? Not approval, on the consent. එකඟතාවය, consent of the employer. හැමෝටම පැහැදිලිද මේක? මෙතන දරුවෝ ඉන්න කවුරුත් නැද්ද වැඩ කරන? Is there anybody who is having children and working mothers? කොහොම කසාය වීපු ගොළු වගේ ඉන්න එක්කෙනයි දෙන්නයි කතා කරන්නේ. Okay, anyway. Right. That is what we have to discuss under what do you call this? Another maternity benefits ordinance. This is more than enough. Just 1 second. One more thing. Next, not subtopic. Special, the bullet form. I mean, star mark. Star mark. The Labor Department, the officials of the Labor Department, the officials of the Labor Department can enter into any workplace under this act, and has the authority to check all relevant document. All relevant document and obtain relevant information as well. And obtain relevant information as well. In case if the employer violates, if an employer
So sorry, in case if the employer violates,
if an employer violates the provisions of this act or this ordinance, of this ordinance, such employer can be taken into court. Such employer can be taken into court. Just give me 1 minute, right? The next, so that is finished. Next one is just one minute. I need, where is this? Give me 1 minute. This is not the one. Yeah, PowerPoint presentation. Just 1 second. That's upon this one. You have to give me a couple of minutes. What is this? More themes. Just give me a couple of minutes. Oof. What happened? My presentation has gone. Just give me one couple of minutes, huh? Okay, now this topic is this. Factories Ordinance number 45 of 1942. Factories Ordinance number 45 of 1942. Is it visible?
Yes.
So note down the topic, Factories Ordinance number 45 of 1942. Factories Ordinance number 45 of 1942. First, what is the objective? Preamble says always the preamble is the objective. This is an ordinance to make provisions for the safety and welfare of workers in factories. This is an ordinance to make provisions for the safety and welfare of workers in where? Factories. Then we have to define the factory. These are the definition, definition of factory. There are plenty. Hotels are not factories, right? Service organizations are not factories. Factories means some manual work, the production process, machines are being used, right? Cement factory, right? There are many factories, garment factories. Service sector does not come under the definition of, does not come under the factories, under the definition of factories. Okay. So, objective. First one, objective within bracket preamble. Let me note down this topic. Otherwise, I have to ask always with you. I have noted down, but unfortunately, it was said that because of water, just today is what is this session? Do you remember the session number?
22, sir.
Sorry?
22.
20. We finished MBO and then factories ordinance, F4. Factories ordinance. Objective within bracket preamble. This is an ordinance. This is an ordinance. This is an ordinance. This is an ordinance to make provisions. To make provisions for the safety and welfare for the safety and welfare for the safety and welfare of workers in factories. Of workers in factories. Then we will look at how this ordinance has defined the factory. Ladies and gentlemen, a factory means any premises undercover, wahap, or open air. Construction is elimahane, open air, in which persons are employed in manual labor. Persons are employed in manual labor in any process or incidental to any of the following purpose. මෙන්න මේ පහත කියනේවට අදාළ වෙන manual labor engage කරලා ඉන්නේවා තමයි අපි factories කියන්නේ. Okay? One is making of any articles or parts of any article, or the altering, repairing or ornamenting, fishing, cleaning or washing or breaking up or demolition of any articles, etc. Adopting for sales of articles, right? And confinement of the opposite animals while awaiting an electrical, I don't need to read electrical stations, right? I don't need to read everything. Institutions established for charitable or reformatory purposes or technical or vocational training, docks, wares and building and other construction work, section 84J, all right, lead process are carried on this. You don't need to write the sections, but these are couple of, you don't need to write even everything, but up to, couple of, but anyway, right, definition of factory, you have to take your own note. A factory means any premises under cover or open air in which persons are employed in manual labor in any process or identical to any of the following process. Okay, so you take your own note. Is it visible?
No, sir. Can you make it enlarge?
Okay, right. What about now? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. ලියාගන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ. ඔක්කොම ලියාගන්න. මම ආපහු සැරයක් කියවන්නම්. Making of any articles or part of any articles, the altering, repairing, ornamenting, fishing, cleaning, adopting for sales of article, slaughter of animals, again, සත්තු මරණ තැන්, slaughter of animals such as cattle, confinement of the opposite animals while awaiting slaughter, right? Again, සකස් කරනවා, මරණයට සකස් කරන තැන්, electrical station, institutions established under charitable, docks and building and other construction work. Okay. Take your note. When you finish, let me know. Almost uncle. හොඳයි ඔව් මේ ලියා ගන්න දීලා තියෙන කැලල කියන්න පුළුවන් කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔව් ඔව්. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
This part, just I check my diary. This part has already been done. කරලා තියනවද නැද්ද? ඔයාලට employment law part 1 part 2 කියලා දෙකක් කළා නේද? Did we discuss employment law part 1 part 2? So I'm checking my diary. June, July.
So we have done that.
Yeah, we have done that. We have done that. And then the Gratuity Act. Right. Gratuity Act almost finished, no?
Yes, sir.
So it is my mistake, ladies. Do you hear me, everybody? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Here,
sir.
why not? I haven't written the definition for factories. I don't know about the other one.
I think you might have not, attended all classes, but we discussed this one under the employment law, part 1 and part 2, under part 2. Kavindya, can you check it?
Yes, I have written that Factories Ordinance number 45 of 1942 and the notification of accidents and maintenance of high-risk machinery.
Ah, yes. Right. And then including the definition.
Yes, sir. But not this much thing, which that means here it is about.
Okay. Anyway, right. Maybe not this much. What do you mean? How many? Because I didn't give you everything, but maybe couple of points.
Yes.
Right. It has already been. Just 1 second. What is happening? Right. And this one, written notification accidents must be sent to the factory inspecting engineer. Right. This part has already been done. And then employment of female workers, night work requirement, consent of the workers, sanctions of the commissioner, right? Worker employed during 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shall not be employed. All you have taken notes. Am I correct or wrong? Could you please check it? This is HRM 1213, no? Oh, sorry. HRM 1112, sorry. Yes, employment law, part 2 and part 3. We have done this. මතක නැද්ද?
Yes, I have written that.
Yes, we have done this. Sorry for the mistake.
So I think you are unmuted.
The topic is Employees Provident Fund Act number 15 of 1958. You have to check your all notes, right? If you have not attended, right, go to the what do you call this? All what do you call records have been uploaded to the website, so you check it. I have done now. I found my diary. So we have to cover couple of acts. One is Employees Provident Fund Act and the Employees Trust Fund Act, right? Then we have to cover two budgetary relief allowance of workers act, and then Retirement Age Act, and then Minimum Wage Act. Minimum, those are very small one, not big what do you call acts. And then there are another two, agency law and the contract law. That's it. Okay. Employees Provident Fund Act number 15 of 1958. මාතෘකාව ලියාගන්න ඉක්මනට.
So this one also we have completed.
Sorry?
This one also have completed from law 80.
Sorry, that is one. Just 1 second. Yes, 11, 12, 19 EPF Act and Gratuity Act also completed, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Then not EPF, ETF. Okay. Forgot about
ETF
this.
not
Sorry, I can't hear.
ETF not completed, sir. Employee Trust Fund
ETF
not
Act
completed.
we have not discussed ETF Act. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Now, not EPF, ETF Act. This is the one. Okay. ETF Act. Employees Trust Fund Act. සම්පූර්ණ මාතෘකාව ලියාගන්න. Employees Trust Fund Act. These are the amendments, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need to write the amendments. Plenty. Right. Just 1 second, right? Okay. Take your note. This act was enacted. This act was enacted to grant benefits to the members to the workers of the private sector and semi-government sector, semi-government organizations. This fund is exclusively contributed. This fund is exclusively contributed only by the employer, only by the employer. Only by the employer. Only by the employer. Only by the employer. The contribution is 3%. 3%. See that tonight. From the earnings of the worker. The definition of earnings, under the EPF Act, EP, Employees Provident Fund, under the EPF Act, is used භාවිතා කරන is used for this purpose for this purpose for this purpose. This means definition of earnings is same, SAM is same, සමානයි, is same under both EPF and ETF acts. Under both EPF and ETF acts. ඒ දෙකේම earnings කියන definition එක සමානයි. Then benefits, subtopic benefits. Right. Number one, there are two types of benefits. One is statutory or general benefits. Number one, statutory stroke general benefits. What is that? Number one, statutory stroke general benefits. Under this one, what it means, withdrawal of fund balance, together with interest and dividend. Together with interest and dividend. Number two, non-statutory stroke welfare benefits. Non-statutory stroke welfare benefits. සුබසාධන ප්‍රතිලාභ. Next para. The followings are some of the following are the sum of welfare benefits. Death benefit. Number one, death benefit. Number two, permanent disability benefits. Number three, financial assistance for kidney transplants.
The kidney transplant is next one.
Yeah, financial assistance for kidney transplants. And next, five-year scholarship assistance program. 5-year or year five of not 5-year, year 5 scholarship assistance program for children. There are many, but I'm not going to read everything, but and then we will look at the statutory or general benefits. Subtopic, statutory stock general benefits. The member can withdraw, fund balance with interest, and dividend. Fund balance with interest and dividend. In this case, in this regard, or in this connection, following conditions should be satisfied. Following conditions should be satisfied. Number one, cessation of employment. Number one, cessation of, cessation of employment is compulsory. Number two, reason for cessation. Could be retirement, resignation, dismissal, comma, vacation of post, comma, closure of the business. Closure of the business, exista. යන ආදී වශයෙන්. Right. Next para. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, a member of the CPF fund is not entitled to make any claim for withdrawal of fund balance until the lapse of 5 years from the date of cessation of employment in respect of which a refund has been made. Let me make it simple. If you in order to obtain your ETF balance, to get it refunded, your employment has to be ceased. සේවාවේ අවසන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. එක්කෝ, what does it mean? Cessation of employment. Oh, ceased means either you have retired, either you have been terminated, or you have vacated the post, or close of business. Okay. Based on any of those reason, assume that you will get refund your balance today. Okay, today. And then you will join other company from tomorrow onwards. So, even though you will resign from that company after 2 years, you are not entitled to claim until 5 years is completed from the date that you have taken your first, from today. I mean, from the date that you have refunded your claim. Okay, you can join tomorrow. Today you retire from one company, not retire, resign from one company, and you obtain your, ETF balance, not EPF, ETF. And then you rejoin tomorrow with another company, an employee for 4 years, but then you resign. Based on that cessation of employment, you can't obtain because you have to wait, 5 years. The, balance until the lapse of 5 years from the date of cessation of employment in respect of which a refund has been made. පළවෙනි රිෆන්ඩ් එක ගත්ත දවසේ ඉඳලා තව අවුරුදු 5ක් යනකම් වෙන ආයතනයක වැඩ කළා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම රස්සාවෙන් අයින් වෙන්න ඕන, රිසයින් වෙන්න ඕන ගන්න. එහෙම නැතුව රස්සාවෙන් ඉදිරියෙන් ගන්න බෑ. එහෙම අයින් වෙලා එක තැනකින් අරගෙන ඊළඟ රස්සාවකට ගියා. තව අවුරුදු 5ක් ඒකේ රස්සාව අවුරුදු 4න් අවසන් වුණත් තව අවුරුදු 5ක් යනකම් ගන්න බෑ. Is it clear? පැහැදිලිද?
Yes.
Right. So next para. A member is not entitled. A member is not entitled. So just give me 1 minute to take some water. A member is not entitled to. A member is not entitled to make a claim. Make a claim for withdrawal of fund. For withdrawal of fund balance. until the lapse of 5 years. Until the lapse of 5 years. From the date of cessation of employment. Cessation කියන්නේ රැකියාව අවසන් වෙනවා. Cessation of employment. Cessation of employment. In respect of which a refund has been made. Full stop. Followings are the exceptions. Followings are the exceptions. There are some exceptions. Followings are the exceptions to this rule. To this rule. කියන්නේ අවුරුදු 5කට වතාවයි ගන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක exceptions තියෙනවා. ව්‍යතිරේකයන් තියෙනවා. Number 1. Reaching the age of 60 years. අවුරුදු 60 සම්පූර්ණා මේ rule එක අදාළ නැහැ. Let me explain this way. At the age of 57, a person retire from a company today. Or maybe last week. Today, he claimed his ETA benefit. Now, now he is 57. He retired based on the cessation of employment. He obtained her benefit. Refund it. And then tomorrow onward, the person rejoin some other company or works for another company for another, say 3 years until he or she reaches 60 years of age. And then he retires. He or she retires. Now, today, that person has obtained the benefit. According to the normal procedure rule, in order to claim benefits from the date in respect of which refund has been already made today, and he or she has to wait for another 5 years. But if she has reached that condition, this 5-year rule is will not be implemented. If you reach 60, whatever, there is no consideration for that for the 5 year. Is it clear? එක පැහැදිලිද? Right. And number 2, migrating for permanent residence. Migrating for permanent residence. එතකොටත් අර අවුරුදු 5ක් ඉන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. එක වතාවක් අරගෙන ඊළඟ වතාවේ ගන්න අවුරුදු 5ක් ඉන්න ඕනනේ. ඒත් රස්සාවේ ඉන්නවා නම් බෑ, රස්සාවෙන් අයින් වුණාම 5කට වතාවක් ගත්ත හැකියි. හැබැයි permanent residence PR හම්බෙලා පිටරට යනකොට ඒක අදාළ නැහැ. Migrating for permanent residence. Number 3. joining public service joining the public service which entitles the member joining the state service which entitles the member to a pension. To a pension. Number 4. Termination of employment. Termination of employment. Termination of employment due to permanent disability. Number 5. Death of a member. පුද්ගලයා මැරුණහම. Number 6. Number 6. Leaving employment. Leaving employment. Leaving employment as a result of incapacity. Capacity එකක් නෑ. Incapacity. Incapacity due to an accident or disease. Due to an accident or disease. Okay. Shall we have a 5-minute break? Just 5-6 minutes. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now 9:38, 9:45, 7 minutes, right? I will start. Just 5-6 minutes break. Okay, let's start. Subtopic: statutory stroke general benefits, methods of settling claims. කොහොමද මොකක්ද method එක? General benefits දෙන ක්‍රමය මොකක්ද? Sorry. Statutory stroke general benefits, method of settling claims. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, number one, normal system. There are two systems. One is normal system. The second one is special system. So we call it one-day service. But there is actually, just 1 second. What was it? Just 1 second. There are three systems actually. One is normal, special system, and one-day service or express system. Right. Normal system. Number one, normal system. Claims are paid within 21 working days. Claims are paid within 21 working days, subject to availability of returns and submission of required documents. Number two, special system. Number two, special system. Number two, special system. Claims are paid right. Number two, special system. Claims are paid within 10 working days, subject to producing documentary proof in support of urgency. හදිසි අවශ්‍යතාවයක් සඳහා. In support of urgency. For instance, මේවට උදාහරණ තමයි for instance, migration, sickness stroke surgery, comma, redeeming of, redeeming of pawn articles, ukas, badu bera ganeem. Comma, family expenses such as weddings, comma, educational expenses, etc. Educational expenses. Number 3. Number 3, express claim system, express claim system. Right. The number of claims accepted on this basis, the number of claims accepted on this basis, the number of claims accepted on this basis per day. The number of claims accepted on this basis per day is limited to 80. Application 80 ගන්න. You know, too tired today, whole day lectures. Okay, next para. Claims are paid. Claims are paid. Claims are paid within 2 working days. Within 2 working days. Full stop. An official service fee. An official service fee is charged for each claim as follows. This is value of the claim. Rupial laksa deka dakwa, rupial dahai. Laksa dekai 1 million අතර රුපියල් 2000යි. රුපියල් 1 million වලට වැඩි නම් රුපියල් 3000යි. Withdrawal claims are accepted and proceeded at the following offices of the board. EPF board is the board. Head office, Labour Secretariat, Narahempita, Colombo 5. Now this address has little bit changed. Head office, Mehewara Piyasa. Mehewara Piyasa. The same thing, right? The Labour Department of the big building, right? Mehewara Piyasa. Mehewara Piyasa, Narahempita, Colombo 5. I mean, the adjoining building of the Labour Secretariat, the both are same, you know. It's a Labour, you know, there are 2 buildings, old building and the new building. Okay. Owned by the Labour Department. The ETF is staying here on rental basis. They pay the rent because ETF is not coming under the Ministry of Labour. It is coming under the Ministry of Finance. However, they are staying here and on rental basis. and regional officers at Gampaha, Kandy, Matara, Kurunagala, and Badul. So I hope you see this. So you take your own note. This one. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Value of claim and the P. From this point onwards. Value of claim and P. Up to rupees 200,000, 1,000. From 200,000 up to 1 million, 2,000. Likewise, like that. Again. Just on their line. Have you done? It's finished. ඉවරද නැද්ද? මම හිතනවා ඉවර ඇති කියලා. So then number 2, welfare benefits. Okay, you don't need to put number. Welfare benefits. Welfare benefits. Under welfare benefits, number 1, death benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, all active members. What do you mean by active member? If you are not an active member, you are not entitled for welfare benefits. Due to, in the plantation sector, there are a couple of government-owned plantations. Alkadu Plantation, JEDB, Janata Estate Development Board, JEDB, and SPC, State Plantation Corporation, and JEDB, Janata Estate Development Board, Alkadu Plantation, and SPC, State Plantation Companies, State Plantation Company. These companies have defaulted EPF, both EPF and ETF. So, when employer is not contributing to the EPF, to ETF, the member is not active. Member is working, but 3% contribution is not being paid by the company. Regularly is defaulting. In such situation, member is not active. So, such member is not entitled for these benefits. That is very pathetic situation. This matter has been addressed many times, discussed many times during my tenure of as the Commissioner General of Labor. I also tried to, settle this, and sometimes we took legal actions, but still some problems are remaining. So my message is, if you, even though you are working, if your employer is not contributing regularly, then you are considered as inactive member. Inactive means contribution is not going to the fund regularly. Okay, understand? So all active members are covered throughout 24 hours under death benefit. In case of death of a member, legal hires, again, legal hires of the deceased married member is paid the benefit. Again, in addition, insurance benefits will be paid to legal hires of the deceased member based on information provided in Form 6A 7 means 8 new form, and CLA stroke 04 may forms of website right. A separate application is not necessary for insurance benefits. Right. For all these benefits, we have to provide these forms. For insurance, you don't need to provide separate one. Okay. Do you understand? Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand this point? What I express? Is it clear or not?
Can you explain further the insurance benefit? What is insurance benefit?
There are, death benefits. In addition, insurance. This is in case death, right? In case death, there are certain amount of, the money is paid. In addition, insurance benefits will be paid. These people have been insured, right? So insurance benefit also will be paid based on the information provided, right? So there are forms, Form 6A, Form 8, and CLA 0.4. Even for death, this information must be provided. And the insurance premium, insurance money also will be paid. Are you getting my point? Or still not clear? තාමත් පැහැදිලි නැද්ද? මේ කියන්නේ death benefit එකට අමතරව insurance මේකකුත් ගෙවනවා. insurance මුදලකුත් ගෙවනවා. ඒකයි කියන්නේ. හරිද?
So for this insurance benefits, employee is not contributing, no, sir?
Sorry. මෙහෙමයි. death benefit එක එකක්, ඒකත් එක්කම insurance එකකුත් යනවා. හරිද? ඒ insurance මේකත් ගෙවනවා කියන එකයි කියන්නේ මෙතෙන්දී. එතකොට අර ඩෙත් එකට පුරවන මේ ෆෝම් එකම ඇති ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකටත් ආය වෙනම ෆෝම් එකක් ඕනේ නැහැ. පැහැදිලිද? ඒක ගෙවන්නේ ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකකින් කිව්වට ඒ ෆන්ඩ් එකෙන්, ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ බෝඩ් එකෙන් තමයි ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මොකුත් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ෆෝම් පුරවලා දෙන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ ලීගල් හා. ඒ කියන්නේ නීත්‍යානුකූල උරුමකරුවා. මරුණ වෙලාවක. පැහැදිලිද?
Yes, sir.
ඕකේ. එහෙනම් ඔයාලම ලියා ගන්න මේ. දැන් මං කිව්වනේ. හරි. පේනව නේද මේක? ආයේ මේක එන්ලාර්ජ් කරන්න ඕනද? පේනවද නැද්ද?
I can see the. I don't know, sir.
It's visible now, so you take your note. ඉවරද?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next, the death benefit. The limit of insurance benefit is 15 times the average of the salary the member was drawing during the 6 month preceding the month in which the death occurred, subject to a maximum of 100,000. ලක්ෂයකට යටත්ව තමයි ගෙවන්නේ insurance එක. The death claim මේ ඔක්කොම ලියාගන්න උවමනා නැහැ. This is for your information, right? I'm not, making, the questions from, from these welfare benefits, right? So this is for your information. The limit of insurance benefit is 15 times Paluskulia, the average of the salary the member was drawing during the 6 month preceding the month in which the death occurred. මැරුණ දවසට පූර්වාසන්න මාස 6ක කාලය තුල උපයමින් හිටපු මාසයක දල වැටුප. කියන්නේ මාස 6 ඇවරේජ් එක ගන්න. මාසයක දල වැටුප වගේ 15 ගුණයක්. හැබැයි සීලින් එකක් තියෙනවා subject to 100,000, right? So the death claim application should be forwarded to the board not later than 1 year from the date of death. This is important. 1 year, within 1 year, not later than 1 year from the date of death. And then the contribution should have been paid regularly during the 12 months period prior to death. So contribution should be, it means that he could have been an active member. Contribution should have been paid. ගෙවලා තිබිය යුතුයි. Regularly, අඛණ්ඩව, during the last 12-month period prior to death. මරණ දවසට පූර්වාසන්න මාස 12ක ඇතුළත අඛණ්ඩව contribution ගෙවලා තියෙන්න ඕන. නැත්නම් මේවා හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Okay? Right. And then in the case there is a testamentary case, fund balance and insurance benefits will be sent to the court. Here in the case, again, testamentary එකක් තියෙනවා නම් මොකක් හරි ගැටලු සහගත තැනක් තියෙනවා. මැරිච්ච කෙනා මැරුණාට පස්සේ උරුමකරුවන් අතර ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා නම්, so it will be cleared by the court. So benefits, fund balance and the insurance benefits will be sent to the court where the case is being heard. Okay. In case of death due to following terminal illness, the requirement of the 12 months period of active membership would not apply, and at least 2 months contribution would be sufficient to be eligible for benefits. In the case of death due to following terminal illness, right? Illness එකක් හින්දා මැරුණාම, the requirement of මාස 12ක්ම අඛණ්ඩව ගෙවලා තිබුණ ඕනේ නැහැ. මැරෙන්න මාස 2ක් ගෙවලා තිබ්බත් ඇති ඒ අවුරුද්ද ඇතුළත. Okay. You don't need to write these things, right? Just listen. Requirement document. These are the requirement document. Form 6A. The employer should give details of contributions remitted on behalf of the member in this form 6A. Separate form is required for each employer if the member had worked for more than one employer. ආම්පුතුන් ගොඩක් ඇරත වැඩ කළේ හැම එකෙන්ම ගන්න ඕන ෆෝම් එක පුරවලා. Form 8 new form. Part 1 to be completed by the claimant, and part 2 to be completed part 2 to 5, part 2 to 5 to be completed by the employer. Form CLA 04, details of the applicant, and this is certified by Grama Niladhari and Divisional Secretary. මරුණයි කියලා තහවුරු කරන්න. So you don't need to write all this because these are for your information. Then second welfare benefit is permanent disability insurance scheme. This scheme, ladies and gentlemen, provides benefits to active members in the case of total disability, resulting in loss of employment, subject to a ceiling of rupees 200,000. This was effective from 1st of December 2009. Depending on the degree of however, it may differ from the degree of disablement. And members are covered throughout 24 hours in respect of accidents, certain industrial diseases, right, numbering the 30, right, and paralysis, cancer, diabetes, ඒ වගේ 30ක් තියෙනවා. The undermentioned losses are included. Permanent loss of sight of both eyes, as දෙකම නැතිවීම, complete loss of both arms or both legs, කකුල් දෙකම හෝ අත් දෙකම. Likewise, right? Please note that a medical report confirming permanent disability should be submitted on Form 6, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, under this disability permanent insurance scheme, affected member will qualify for benefits only if the disability is found to be more than 50% on examination by a physician. ඒ කියන්නේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන් 50%කට එහා ගියොත් නේ වැඩ කරන්න බැරි. මෙහාට නම් පුළුවන්. ඒක physician කෙනෙක් තහවුරු කරන්න ඕනේ. The employer should certify that the employment has ceased due to the accident disease. ඒ කියන්නේ හාම්පුතා එයාගේ මේ ඇක්සිඩන්ට් හින්දා වැඩ කරන්න බැරි හින්දා සේවය නැවතුවා කියලා තහවුරු කරන්න ඕනේ. And then application has to be forwarded within 6 months from the date of discharge from hospital or from the date of termination of employment, whichever date is later. Right? එක්කෝ සේවයෙන් අයින් කරපු දවසේ හරි discharge කරපු දවසේ පසු එළමන දිනේට මාස 6කට ඇතුළත දිනේ ඉඳලා මාස 6ක් ඇතුළත මරණයකදී නම් 1 year. In case of permanent disability, within 6 months, application must be submitted. And the amount of benefit is 24 times the average of the salary the member was drawing during 6 months prior to the month in which the death occurred. Right. And next, under the welfare benefits, another scheme is financial assistance for heart surgery. The maximum 300,000. ලක්ෂ 3යි. A member members who have to undergo certain heart surgeries classified by the board are eligible to seek financial assistance. Ladies and gentlemen, the amount is 300,000. Surgery may be done locally or overseas. Right? So 300,000. So, and then bypass surgery, heart valve surgery, right? And then heart valve replacement. These are, I mean, radio frequency, right? And the implantable cardio cover, right? These are, the medical terms, even sometimes very difficult to pronounce for us because we just we don't know the medical terms, exact medical terms, right? So, however, what I want to tell you is, the heart surgery and bypass, replacement of valves. So, for these things, heart surgery relating to heart, 300,000 will be paid maximum. Heart surgery ka කරන්න බෑ ලක්ෂ 10ක්වත් නැතු. And then the surgery could be done at any government or private hospital in Sri Lanka or overseas. Do you hear me? ඔයාලට ඇහෙනවද මාව?
Yes, sir.
So because, these are, it's useless. You don't need to write. Just, I will explain and listen, right? Because, as workers, maybe employers, these are important. Even though, you are not worker, right? You may be joining the labor force maybe later, or sometimes you may be working, or you may be an employer. So these are important, right? Some important points, important information for you as a student. And the member who would undergo the surgery should proceed a letter from the cardiologist indicating the types of surgery and the estimated cost quoted by hospital. The next point I want to highlight is all sources of financial assistance obtained and amount should be declared by the member. For example, right, the government workers, they can get some funds from the President Fund, right? Employer may contribute something, and the insurance company or other insurance or charitable organization can, grant something. So you have to declare everything. The employer should certify that the employment has ceased due to the accident or disease. සේවය අවසන් කරා කියලා කියන්න ඕනේ. In the surgery, in case the surgery is performed overseas, a letter issued by the cardiologist in Sri Lanka referring the patient to the overseas hospital and the bill from the overseas hospital indicating the total cost should be produced along with the application. And the board issue a letter of guarantee to the hospital where the member is going to get the surgery done, undertaking to pay the amount specified in the guarantee letter following surgery. This is important because, at the beginning, the ETF will issue a letter to the hospital, making, assuring that they will pay the amount subject to 300,000. Okay. So what are the required documents? I don't need to repeat this. Letter issued by the cardiologist. We have discussed this one. Right. So now reimbursement of cost of intraocular lens. Intraocular lens කියලා අන්න ඒවට. The මේවට කියනවා maximum 15,000 රුපියල් 15,000. Right. So claim application must be provided within 60 days. These are the information that you need to understand. And the 5-year scholarship assistance scheme program. Ladies and gentlemen, children of active members of the fund, active members, right, who passes the 5-year scholarship examination with merit are eligible for this benefit. Financial rewards of 15,000 are provided to 9,000 children of ETF members annually, taking into consideration the marks obtained at the year 5 scholarship examination. Right. And they also have some Sishu Udana saving scheme as well. And then there is another one, Srama Suwas Recovery, Srama Suwa Recovery Hospitalization Medical Scheme. In this case, the maximum amount will be paid 25,000 rupees, or maximum amount will be paid per year. When you will be hospitalized, you know, if you have been hospitalized, 25,000 per year. To be eligible in this regard, the members should have been contributing to the fund for at least 5 years. This 5-year period should have been completed by the time the member admits to a hospital for treatment. The maximum amount of benefit is limited to 50,000 per each member during the period of employment. මුළු ජීවිත කාලෙම 50,000යි. හරි. මේවට කියන්නේ අපි හාල් කෑලි කියලා. So these are, you know, some proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to elaborate everything. Srama Surakuma. And then under this Srama Suwa Rakavarane, these are the hospitals, the list of registered hospitals in Colombo: Asiri, Nine Wells, Asa Central, Navaloka, Durdans, Oasis, Apollo. Now not Apollo, no, now it is what? Now මොකද්ද දැන් අපොලෝ එකට කියන්නේ? මේ මෙතන මොකද්ද තියෙන්නේ? නාරායම් පිට මොකද්ද? What is the hospital now?
Lanka Hospital.
Lanka Hospital, yes, Lanka Hospital. Right? Not Apollo now, it is Lanka Hospital. Sorry. Lanka Hospital. Lanka Hospital, McCarthy, New Delman, Royal Hospital, Keels Nursing Home. There are some others as well. So you can, you know, be hospitalized. And there is another welfare benefits. Vienna Housing Loan Scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, through this scheme, members can obtain housing loans at concessionary rate of interest from NDB Bank. Employees Trust Fund Board and NDB Bank have laid down specific conditions in respect of this scheme. Basic requirement for this benefit is maintaining a minimum of 5 years continuous membership with the fund. Minimum amount of the loan is 100,000 and the maximum limit is 2.5 million. Right? NDB Bank is situated at it's from the head office actually. Loans are disbursed to the active member of the ETF for purchase of house, construction of house, extension, renovation, and for redeeming loans obtained from other lending institutions. Okay. Right. So let me go through quickly. These are the rates of interest. Now it has revised, right? I couldn't get the revised one yet. So, however, I will let you know later. But loan limits is same, but the interest has already changed because interest rate has gone up. And then there are some special conditions as well. So, and then the kidney transplant surgery assistance scheme, maximum 300,000 rupees. I told you the same procedure. And what else? Year 5 scholarship children. I told you this one already. And GCA A-level examination. An educational grant to the value of rupee 12,000. each will be provided annually to 5,000 children for active membership of the fund who passes GCE A-level examination. මේ ඒකේ members ලගේ දරුවන්ට උසස් පෙළ සමත් වෙන ළමයින්ට ළමයි 5000කට රුපියල් 12000 ගාන ගෙවනවා. right දැන් 12000ට මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. right these are some of the other schemes. Anyway, general there are some requirement. So this is my presentation. You don't need to write everything. You have taken your note. You have taken notes. I have given you notes, the most important one. These are the elaboration, explanation, or not explanation, detailed information with regard to welfare benefits. So any question? Now it is your time to raise questions. We have 25 minutes. Amanda, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Gavano?
Yes, sir.
Right. Pavani Ayodhya.
Yes, sir.
Right. Ayodhya කියලා ගංගාවක් තියෙනවා නේද ඉන්දියාවේ? අයෝධ්‍යද? ප්‍රාන්තයක්ද? මතක නැහැ. ඒව නමක් තියෙනවා. හරි. Amsa.
Clear, sir.
Right. So then the next day we will be discussing the contract law or agency law. Finally, at the last, the couple of sessions, I will be discussing Retirement Age Act. Within one day, we can finish Minimum Wage Act and 2 Budgetary Relief Allowance of Workers Act. And another day, we will be taking, this one, this Retirement Age Act. Right, then almost finish. If we have time, I will teach you extra lesson, which is not included in the syllabus. That is the disciplinary procedure in the private sector organizations. Okay, so shall we wind up then? Oh, I can wait, right? If you have any question under any act, not only this one. If you have any question with regard to the subject matter so far we have discussed so far. Premalal? Hasini?
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, Dinesh.
Sir, who is controlling this? Is CGL, Commissioner General of Labor? Who is
No, very
controlling
good question you raised. Very good question. Finally, ඊළඟ පැරායකින් ලියන්න ඡේදයෙන් ලියන්න. The EPF Act is administered. The EPF Act and the fund are administered by the ETF board, Employees Trust fund board. Ek a board deka. Board. At present, ETF Employees Trust Fund Board, ETF board is functioning under the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance. Eka board ekak, eka raja. EPA eka act එකකින් හදලා තියෙන board එකක්. එතකොට Labor Department එක යටතේ නෙමෙයි ඉන්නේ. But it was under the Ministry of Labor previously. Under the Ministry of Labor. Now it is under the Ministry of Finance. What else? We have another 20 minutes if you have questions. So, you know, this 3% to the ETF is exclusively contributed by the employer. So if we look at the the Hansard, this fund has actually been established to look after the welfare side of the workers. So now it seems to be that the board is deviating from its objectives. Instead of giving this hal carry, small peanut, stopping all these, unnecessary payment 5 years, just even for heart surgery. So 300,000, what to do with this one? So what we can do is we can provide the entire health insurance from this fund. We have to stop all other things and provide comprehensive medical coverage, medical insurance for the workers, for the members. Or maybe sometimes unemployment insurance scheme. But it's not happening. Right? We have money, but we have to reallocate this money, right, for the benefits of the workers and for the benefits of the country. අපි හැමදාම පුරුදුලා තියෙන්නේ පොඩි පොඩි කෑල්ල කෑල්ල හරි නිකන් ගන්න. So we have to stop all these things and we need to make use of this money either for the insurance scheme or housing scheme, right? And or unemployment insurance scheme or something like that. Okay, anyway. So if you don't have any question, we have another 15 minutes, but then I will wind up, right? Good night for everyone. If you don't have question. Okay. I'm stopping now. Okay, thanks for the participation.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Okay, good night.